Hey guys, this is Black, and today we'll be going over the basics of Phantasy Star Online 2's new episode 4 urgent quest, the Lunar Phantasm Matriarch. It should first be noted that this UQ can only be completed once and is split up into two parts. The first part will have you use Ridroids to chase Esca Falz's mother across the lunar base, and the second will have you fight her on a platform in space. Now, before we get to the Rideroid part, you might first want to change your Rideroid settings to auto, unless you are more comfortable with manual flight. As with auto, your Rideroids will continue to move you forward with no input required. You can then set this in the options under Game Settings, Other Settings, then Ridroid Controls Settings, then choose Auto. Now, for the actual Ridroid controls themselves, the forward and back directionals will move you up and down, and the left and right directionals will slowly strafe you left or right. And if you then pair the jump button with any of these directionals, you will then move quickly in that direction and cover more distance. Then, using the jump button with the mouse or controller aim, you can then quickly turn the camera or Rideroid in that direction. Just keep in mind that any combinations of these using the jump button will drain your PP ever so slightly, so only use them when necessary. Moving on to the sub-palette, number 1 is your missiles, that you should use whenever they are up and you are close to the boss. And then slot number 2 is your boost, which you generally want to save for when Mother dashes away from you. For your weapon palette, the first ability will slow you down when holding it if you are on auto, and is your stop and go button when you're on manual. The second ability is a barrel roll, which you can hold to continue spinning and dealing damage, and use this when you are up close to the boss. And that's about it for the controls, so let's get right to the first phase. Starting off, you will be on the surface of the moon chasing behind Falz's mother, and the general idea is to keep up with her as much as possible, as your guns will automatically fire as long as you are close enough. Your goal here is to then take down the 4 orbs she has around her, as that will put her into a down state, at which time everyone can spin into the core of the body. Now, this is easier said than done, as you will soon see that you will be traveling through crowded tunnels and having to avoid laser beams. On top of that, you must try to avoid smaller floating orbs that are littered everywhere, and they will slow you down upon impact. Do also keep an eye out for the green rings though, as when you pass through them, they will heal you and restore some PP as well. Occasionally, Mother will spawn panels, and when she does, use the barrel roll to reflect them back at her. And that pretty much sums up the first part. Just keep trucking and avoid as much as possible while keeping up with her. If you die, you'll be given another Rideroid, so don't worry about it. You'll then know the first part's over when the screen cuts to black, and this will then bring you directly to the real fight with Mother after a very brief cutscene. Now, this fight is very simple and has very few mechanics. It starts off with Mother sending out orbs that become hands that she will use to attack everyone. Just avoid them and aim for the big weak spots on the back. Once they have taken enough damage, they will return to Mother and she will be downed, at which time everyone should deal as much damage as they can. Then, when she gets back up, she will send out her hands yet again, and eventually suck everyone to the center of the platform and create a funhouse. Just look for the exit and continue fighting off the hands, and watch out for the spinning panels she throws out periodically. From here on, you will repeat the process until she is downed a few more times, after which she will rise up above the platform and create a ball of energy at the center. At the same time, lots of floating cubes will spawn and they must all be destroyed before they reach the center. Following that short phase, Mother will then move to the center of the platform, and just aim for her core, but watch out for the mob she spawns on the ground and the exploding spheres in the air. She will eventually spawn the cubes again, and just take them out like before. Following that, she will become completely vulnerable, and you should be able to finish it up right then and there. And that's about it for the Lunar Phantasm Matriarch UQ. There's really not much to it, just a lot of repeat mechanics. Anyways, until next time, take care.